What up, peeps? Y'all know who it is. In my Ace Nation shirt for life. Ace Nations. I'm gonna do a little Ace with me. Jake Torrance, aka Jakey J. Hey man, let's get right to it, man. As I promised, in my little light at the end of the tunnel, as we all know, or if you don't know me, man, last year, July 22nd, I haven't talked about this since. I've posted this the one time on my channel, and I said I would give one update on after everything was done. This is the update. July 22nd of last year, both of my grandsons were shot in a retaliation move. What we now know, what I said before, everything was alleged. I was nice and polite and respectful toward the family of the accused and everything. And I'm still going to be that way. Just the way I'm cut. July 22nd, both my grandsons, identical twin grandsons, Ace and Arcel Lucas, who you see here in these pictures, were shot with a well-known retaliation move about money and drugs, that their father was supposed to have robbed somebody, and the story is made national news. Ace Lucas was killed. Arcel was shot and survived. Made national news. Go to episode, my little light at the end of the tunnel, or Google it on Canton Rep or anything, any Canton, and it was one of the biggest stories in Canton. Still is. Yesterday, at the first episode, I introduced the accused, Trajan Johnson, my son's first cousin. I have a son, biological, full blown son, and his mother. His mother and my son's mother are identical twins, okay? Let's keep it like that, all right? Y'all know the gist of this shit. All right, went to trial yesterday. I said allegedly accused, okay? Only 4 members. First and foremost, I want to tell off the top, guilty on all 10 counts. 2 counts of murder, 8 counts, all kind of specifications, guilty on all charges. So what I want to tell, first and foremost, I want to tell Trajan Johnson, I hope your first official night, last night, of spending probably the rest of your life behind bars was an awesome one. I hope you were nice and comfortable, you were accommodated well, and you got all the perks and bells and whistles that you are going to receive for the rest of your life, buddy. Double salute to you. Now back to the story. If you know me, man, I take pride on being a real one. I mean, on all different levels and phases. What anybody that knows me know, I go in. I do not take one side of no story. I don't go in biased, no matter what the situation. If I was biased about any situation, I probably would have killed a couple people already by now, because I don't heard hundreds of names and hundreds of people that was involved in this, and seen them and walked by them and didn't do nothing. You know why? Because I didn't have nothing really in proof, in stone, and I move in a different way now. Let that be said. Okay, so the trial starts. We come out. First and foremost, only 4 family members could sit in this trial. 4 family members each side. It was a highly charged, powerful case. A lot of emotions involved, and the COVID shit was going on. So they only allowed 4 family members. If you did not sit in that case, and if you didn't sit in that courtroom and see what went on, what the repository, what you read in the repository and what all that, it is nothing like. I'm going to sit here and tell y'all from an honest to God, 2-sided, a guy that walked in willing to hear both sides of the story and leave and let my conclusion, just like I do from anybody. If a dude talk about his girl, I don't want to hear it. Talking about how bad she treated him and this, that. I don't even want to hear it. I'm not taking your side, because I want to hear your girl's side. How bad you treating her. That's the type of dude I am. Vice versa. If a girl talking about how bad her dude treated this and that, I want to hear your dude's side. That's what type of dude I am. Any story or anything, I like to hear both sides of the story. I go in open-minded and hoping to find answers. And answers is what I found. Let me tell you all this. First, the level, a lot of people won't admit that they're wrong, because it's been over a year and a half. And the level of disrespect and the level of betrayal has been so deep among family members and friends, they will never admit that they're wrong. So they're gonna keep riding with this Trajan, poor Trajan. He wasn't on the scene. He didn't have no ID. None of, okay, they're gonna keep riding with that. But these is the same family members, and I'm sure 4 of them sat in that courtroom and seen that evidence, that overwhelming evidence. But they know he did it deep in their hearts. They know that was him because they knew since the night it happened, it was him. Most of them, when they was covering up and changing rims and hiding his car and doing all that shit for him and messing up the case, they knew he did it, but they just wouldn't admit that he did it. Okay, this is facts, folks. Okay, we sit in the courtroom. They have First Lady Fort Lauderdale come up, names a couple family members that I ain't gonna say, close family members, Ace's bloodline. Family members that got on their knees and cried at the hospital that night and came over here and cried and said they never was around that night, any of this. They named family members that they seen and introduced and knew for a fact was there with them that night. Okay? Okay, number 1. Next, they start with the evidence. Okay? They start with this white car that his family still is going to say it wasn't his. This white car with 2 rust marks, identical rust marks on the side, right? These 2 rust marks that sunk him. That's part of the reason it sunk him. Not the biggest reason, but I'm going to tell y'all the biggest reason. They got this guy. First, they tracked him, the conversations through these thugs, through phone records. They tracked him that day, all around from before to after, till 3:03, when they started back talking after they killed Ace, okay? Next, they get these dummies via traffic cam in people's houses, traveling from the brother's house that night, step by step. They asked, what route would you take from his brother's house, where they know they were at, because their phones was at, to the house on Clarendon? The officer answers, and they give the direct route. They show where these thugs jump in the car from out there together and take this direct route from here to here to here to here to behind Clarendon. Okay? What do they do next? They film them. Not only they got these guys on set in 5 or 6 locations from there, from the routes, together with the same car, with the two rust marks and the black mirrors, okay? The same car and his license plate, okay? But this is the car that his family, this is the magical extra car that popped out of nowhere, just so happened to be there that night, that's identical to Trajan's. They want to admit that. The car they tried to hide and switch rims on, okay? Let's take it a step further. So they commit this horrifying act against both my grandsons. My granddaughter in the car, other people and kids is in the house, leave, okay? They got these guys getting in the car together, in the same 2 cars, behind the house. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you how they know behind the house. Getting in the car, and they track them, y'all, from the same spot, back behind Clarendon, back to the brother's house, like dummies. No phone communication amongst them all day long, okay? All the way up until they stop, they leave their phones. No communication at all when they go kill my grandson and shoot my other grandson and try to kill everybody in the house, right? Guess when the communication starts back up all of a sudden? At 3:03 a.m. when they back and they don't did the job and they congratulating each other because they don't killed the baby. They demons, right? They tough, right? This is facts, y'all. If you sat in this courtroom and seen how Dennis Barr and his prosecution put this, praise the Lord to Dennis Barr. He is heaven sent to my family, and he let it be known. He put his 30 years, 6 years of experience on the line, and he shut Trajan's lawyer down to nothing. They didn't have not one person in their defense that they can call up to back up anything. They didn't have no witnesses, none whatsoever. The prosecution called all the witnesses because they had all the ducks and all the people to line up that could verify everything that they said. Let me calm down. So That didn't kill the young punk though. Let me tell y'all what really killed him. Why they getting online and talking about these? Guess what the dummy did? He goes down after he gets charged and starts bragging. First to real ones like me, that code with morals and principles, starts bragging about killing kids, asking, can you identify me? The first man, he ain't even known him 5 days. He tells the man some of the story. Asking him, can he identify him? Giving them names. They'll tell you that this man, listen here, man, I'm going to tell you about the penitentiary, and I'm going to tell y'all some other shit, because I keep both sides. This dummy, the penitentiary and jail is full of motherfuckers that's wishing, hoping, and praying will do anything for their freedom. We know that, right? If these dudes, it's more snitches in jail than it is on the streets by 1,000. Believe that. I promise you that. I've been there several times. These dudes, if they get some credible information, because believe me, a lot of them try to lie on people and that shit backfire in their face. It get proven shut out the door. You know what I'm saying? When these dudes get some credible information and they got it in their hands, they gonna act on it because they want their freedom. They want the fuck up out of there. So we know this, okay? If they got good information, right? Okay, he brags to a real one, an old man, about killing kids. This man ain't never heard nothing about this case. And it's proven on prison records that the next day that this man calls in to his wife and asks her, hey, could you check into this case? Such and such. He finds out it's true. Guess what a real one do? Guess what a real one do? But this dummy don't know it. He's still in there spilling his beans. But they'll tell you, oh, Mike Volpe went down there and secretly recorded and told it and recorded without talking. No, Mike Volpe went down there and introduced himself and told him who he was in front of another correction officer and then pressed the record button. For 30 seconds, he didn't talk to him. So he had 30 seconds to tell him he changed the rims. He told him the guys' names, where they parked at, he had 30 seconds to do all this, huh? Or less than a minute, huh? Okay, that's what the family will tell you. These ignorant, baby killing, harboring nobodies will tell you that. So guess what he does after that? He gets another cellie. Starts to brag into him. Trying at first act like his cousins just drove his car. But it wasn't sounding like making no sense. The way he was saying it, knew he was fucking involved in the shit. But then after a few days, guess what he started doing? Bragging some more, putting himself in that motherfucker, in the motherfuckers on the scene. And guess what the real one did? He got out, he asked, he called and told. It wasn't like he was facing life sentences, like he had a big case. My dude was scheduled to get out before Thanksgiving, okay? This is the facts. And look in the court records. His parole officer was going to mark him. He was going to give him a point and make him stay in there till February or January at the earliest. 2 months. All they did was let him get out on the regular time. He was supposed to get out before Thanksgiving, and told his parole officer not to violate him so he can get out. The other dude, the first old dude, he didn't get no time off. Nothing. They told him, hey man, your case is done. Oh, ain't nothing we can do about shortening your time. Guess what he did? Still came down because he was sick to his stomach, offering us the reward. Sick to his stomach, really trying to give us the reward for this conviction about our 1-year-old grandson and my daughter's 1-year-old twin grandson getting killed by this young demon. That's on God. Let's get to the facts. If you would have seen, first and foremost, like I said, my son Jaquez is Trajan's first cousin. He has lived with them. He has fell a victim of one of these robberies, which y'all don't know. My own son, from living with these two. A lot of people don't know that. But let me tell you something. My son is locked up right now because of some stuff he did And he manned up and we made him turn himself in and own up to it. But if I'd have found out my son had any inkling of killing a 1-year-old baby, any inkling, he would have had to do one or two things, and God know I ain't lying. He'd have had to walk right down there with me and tell them everything he knew about that case or any case he had part of killing a baby. And then we would have went to court together, and I would have rolled him to the end, because you're supposed to ride or die with your kids, dead right or dead wrong. But if he'd have lied and denied and crossed up like Trajan did, he would have sat in that motherfucking courtroom by himself. And I would have disowned his ass for the rest of his life, or until he decided to man up and make that call and tell Pops what the fuck he did. That's the difference between my family and a lot of these families. We are not the same and never will be the same. Because y'all harboring a baby killer. An undeniable, unregrettable, unremorseful baby killer. Y'all harbored it all the way up. It took for 1.5 years, y'all did. Told me and my family that we was crazy when we was pointing fingers. We was hearing these stories and all these family members that was involved, and we cutting ties and killing. Remember, I ain't gonna say no names, but your son sent the one of the next people that's in trouble behind this shit, that's gonna get arrested, that's locked up now, a little fat fuck. I ain't gonna say no names. But Mr. Calhoun, you know who I'm talking to with the pink guns. Remember when your son, we asked about your son sending gorilla emojis to a certain dude the same morning Ace got killed? Your own blood, man. Our own cousin. And y'all act like you didn't know who the fuck we was talking about? And you came on my porch and swore up and down with your son that y'all would never, ever, and y'all didn't know nothing? Guess who come out again? Family member. That's who he was sending emojis to, the gorillas, because he killed Ace that morning. Facts. On God, everything came out in this case. If you didn't sit in there and listen to everything word for word, that repository shit, it's nothing. It was chilling. It was mind blowing to find out the shit that we found out. How the level of betrayal. And like I said, the level of betrayal is so disgusting and so deep. These people, the family members, and these people on the other side, they'll never admit it. They'll never admit it. That's how deep it is. But it's right there in front of y'all faces, if you think about it. Everything that Trajan admitted to these two inmates and the closing arguments on Dennis Bar was mind-blowing, chilling. It had your hair on your neck, arms, everything. Because everything that Trajan told these guys that they wouldn't have never knew, and they proved from them leaving out there to the two black Chicago, the black, the GDs, the cats from Chicago that they know. Oh, let I mind y'all, one of those, the dude with the dreadlocks that was walking around shooting, he shot an innocent teacher in Indiana. He locked up right now. A 15-year-old son had to give him CPR because he ran off the road. He died. Another innocent victim that fell to these baby killing demons that y'all harboring. Another innocent victim. They don't even care about y'all, is what y'all don't even know. While y'all harboring, they'll shoot one of y'all kids or something if y'all got into it or is around. Accident. That's how stupid y'all is. Everything that Dennis Barr knows, closing arguments, and I looked Trajan dead in his eye. He wouldn't look back at me. I was going from Trajan to his mother, to his sister, to his sisters that swearing up and down none of this happened. And they just couldn't even look. They just in denial. They knew it was over. And anybody that sat in the jury, only reason why the jury took that long, 3.5 hours, is because the one or two little arguments the lawyer tried to say that was a different car. Trajan tried to tell you, people, believe me. The jurors went over that. That's what took them so long. They was already convinced. They wanted to make sure that this was the same car that just so happened to have the same two rust spots and the black mirrors and identical to every other thing and the same license plates in the couple. They got it off a license plates reader 2 days before that, y'all. Y'all don't understand how deep and how It can not be nobody else but these people and this man. And don't let his family or none of these street dudes that swearing up and down he would never get convicted, that thought he was gonna come home. Trajan, the baby murderer, the guy who didn't snitch, and the guy who beat the murder case. You know how long me and my family had to sit back for a year and a half and hear this guy praised and protected and family members lie in our face as we kept our cool? Do you know how many incidents my daughter been in out here that I had to stop her from going crazy because people taunting her about her son because something that her baby's father, look, I know the life her baby father was living. And I was in the streets for a long, long time. I know the taste that he left in a lot of people's mouth, man. And that's just facts. You know, I understand that. But what his father did and what these dudes, him and these twins, they had nothing to do with this, man. So y'all should have took that out on the streets where it happened at. Or y'all should have caught his father when y'all caught him at, in the streets or wherever. Not Ace. That's where the problem lies. When y'all start taking shit out on innocent people. Supposedly, they saying it was different amounts. How could they? These witnesses said it was different amounts and there was 11, it wasn't no heroin involved. Just little ink, little offs and shit. Yeah, it could have been some shit like that was off. Because like I said, I'm double-sided. It was a couple times where those inmates, they was rattled. A couple small times where I thought, hey, he might be telling a little fib there. I'm honest, bro. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all like these other side is. Yeah, it was a couple times. One time when Mike Volpe looked at, he stuttered a little bit. And I was like, when they asked about Trajan's, around his house, why didn't he get surveillance close around to his house? And he got a little, and he couldn't remember. And I was thinking, that might be, I will admit to my shit, bro. They won't admit to none of this shit. They won't admit to y'all that this shit is facts. That this dude is a fucking bona fide baby murderer. He's the one that did it, y'all. Don't let nobody, none of them tell you nothing else. And if you believe it, you harboring and you friends with a baby killer, man. That's what I got to tell y'all, man. From Dennis Barr walked. He said, look what they did. Closing arguments. They left from here. It was chilling. Boom. Everything was like putting a puzzle that fit together perfectly. And you had to be in that courtroom to know this. His side, I was watching all of them. They couldn't even look at it because I was going back and forth from one of them to the other one, to the other one, to the other one. Like, how could y'all deny? They was acting like they was scribbling and doing other stuff, not paying attention to the truth because they want to come home and tell y'all some other stuff. This shit fit together like a perfectly, all the way till he said, watch. You could see how intrigued the jury was. How captured they was. How he had this dude in the mud. And guess what Trajan sitting there doing? Scribbling, because he know everything that man's saying is true. Right on the money. Showed him with the glasses on the side of the house. You know, if you know Trajan, if you his mom, if you his sister, if you his friend, y'all know it's him. Y'all know it's him. And you lying to yourself or you covering up a baby killer if you ain't. Sometimes, man, you as a parent, man, your kid gonna go out and do some stuff that's gonna embarrass you, that's gonna hurt you, that you never even taught them, that's against. Mine done it, man, plenty of times. I suck it on the chin. We talk. I tell them if they dead wrong. I back for them if they right. But we going to talk about if you wrong, if you right or wrong, I'm going to let you know. And you're going to admit it and accept responsibility. And we going to move on. I don't care if you got to do the rest of your life behind it. But these people, man, this is the worst type of family, y'all. This man told these people, why would you have to change your rims, bruh? They got the car on the night on the way there, y'all. Documented, good pictures, black rims. But now it's another magical car with black rims and these two rust marks that after the murder, when he told him he changed them to chrome, guess what it is, y'all? The chance of hitting the Mega Millions Back-to-back weekends. $3 billion. You had to have these odds. The same white Charger with the rust marks, with the changed rims, like Dummy told him. Y'all believe what y'all want to believe, man. I'm telling y'all firsthand. My family was embarrassed. People turned their back on us. Family members, own family members, man, swore up and down they had no parts of this or didn't know nothing about this. His bloodline, man. Ridicule y'all for this past year and a half. And now, when the truth come out and this man get unanimously convicted in less than 4 hours, and really because 3.5 hours, because they double checking and making sure and made sure this was no doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, the same car. But they gonna tell you he wasn't on the scene, didn't nobody see him, no DNA evidence, all this goofy shit. But they gonna go all to this shit, but they ain't gonna say then why the fuck was his car there? Why was these glasses on? Why did he change his rims? Why do they got pictures with the two dudes, the same 3 dudes that he said he didn't know from Chicago? Why do they got pictures on his Facebook with these dudes? Why is he lying so much about this? They won't tell y'all none of this stuff. All they gonna keep calling is this little stuff that's keep these lies going. This betrayal going is what they gonna do to y'all, man. Believe me, I'm a real one, man. Like I said, it may have been a couple little hiccups in that case from the prosecution as far as witnesses. And I spotted them. But they'll say, oh, they were lying, cut on the line, the stand line 8, 9 times. No, I'm real with y'all, man. It was, and it was a year since they had told them guys, since they had interviewed them guys. So the couple little hiccups was whether he changed the rim from chrome to black. The one dude, he stumbled on that and he couldn't really tell. And then the other, it was another something about the reward or something. Small shit where I could tell they was either might not have been telling the truth all the way or just not being able to remember. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't for me to decide. That was for the jury to decide, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was just my opinion. And I can read well. Like I said, one time with Volpe, they asked why he stumbled up a little bit. He said he couldn't remember the dude's name. Or he went to the door and asked the dude's name for his camera. He didn't have one. He couldn't remember. But he remembered there. You know, that type stuff was kind of, you know what I'm saying, stuck on me. But it wasn't for the most part, he was solid. And you could tell he was telling the truth. And he wanted justice for Ace, man. Guilty on all counts, y'all. Trajan Johnson, more arrests to come. And he will probably spend the rest of his life behind bars due to this. Got his people talking about, we're going to get another trial. We're going to appeal. How is y'all going to appeal when y'all ain't got not one witness? What y'all going to bring to the table this time? You know what the Supreme Court going to do? Shoot y'all down and laugh at y'all and tell y'all it ain't no chance. I shoot myself in the head in front on Facebook Live if this dude get an appeal or any type of retrial because he's guilty. And what y'all need to do is stop the lies, swallow your pride, and admit that you guys are the most scumbag, baby killing, harboring, covering up, thoughtless scumbags on the face of this earth, because you was over here crying with us the night this shit happened. I'm like uncles to them little dudes. My son lived with them little dudes. And y'all couldn't come holler at us and keep it real. God bless you all, man. Ace Nation, to the death of me. He gonna get everything he got coming. His life is gonna be miserable. And he gonna have to go to PC. Because they don't take too kindly to cats that brag about murdering babies. Where he about to go. Whole bunch of lifers down there that been down for some years, boy. acting like y'all the victim. Like y'all we the ones that started this. And we ain't did nothing but listen to all this bullshit for a year and a half and been respectful as hell. While y'all drag our name in the mud, post stuff, try to irritate us and do all this shit. And my family, I had to fight for my family to just be respectful and cool on everything. Fall back and let everything work itself in place. You know how many days and how hard it was to do that? When people ready to let go? Now everything working out in place and everybody see who was lying and who ain't crazy. That's all I got to say, man. Ace Nation, to the death of us. If y'all tired of us saying it, erase it. If you played the middle, if you sincerely played the middle in this situation because you love both sides, do us a favor. No, we going to do y'all a favor. Keep playing that other side, man. We know it was sincere and all that, but we don't need no friends like that because you should have been seen this, man. High and biased. Don't show us no concern. Don't say no congratulations. Don't act like you was glad about this conviction and then run over there and kick it with them and act like how sorry you is for Trajan. No, keep that. High and biased, because we know the fake ones and we know the real ones. And to all the real ones that stuck by us, and we know exactly who y'all is. From day one and knew what was going on and really felt our pain, we forever in debt to y'all. We love y'all. This Torrance family is real. Team Torrance family is real. We genuine, we humble, and we know the definition of respect. Double salute to all y'all that roll with us, man. Pastor Vic Moore, I can't thank you enough, bro. My mentor kept me away from talk to me. All my dudes, Rod Harmon, Diego Robinson, all my workout dudes kept me busy so I wouldn't go crazy. God put good people in my life instead of the people that's telling me go kill them cats. Go kill them. Double salute to all my real ones, man. I love y'all. I respect y'all, man. It's more to come, man. More arrests, everything about to really come out. And watch the denial they still do. Man, if you sat in that trial, you one of the 4 people, they ain't gonna never tell y'all. Believe me, this guy is 110% guilty and don't believe nothing nobody else got to tell y'all. This is the last time I'm gonna speak on this on my channel unless something else come up big, arrest or something, because I don't speak on it much. This is the second time I've spoken on my channel. I don't try to bring none on Instagram. I barely speak about it on Facebook. I barely wear Ace Nation shirts because the shit makes me sick. But I just had to let y'all know the level of disrespect and everything my family was going through and all the laughs and lies and saying we was crazy. It's the opposite. It's just what we thought. They harboring a baby killer, man. Till I come back, man. Double salute. I'll be exercising probably the next time, too. Come get in shape with Jakey J. Ace motherfucking Nation. Rest in peace. Arcel at the crib. Lana at the crib. Little Cali Luke at the crib. All the rest of them at the crib. My family good, boy. Let's go.